Hey everyone, and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about the fundraising and spending and ad reservations from Senate candidates in the 2024 election. So we do have quite a few swing states when it comes to the Senate races in 2024. We have Democratic senators in two states that Trump was able to win in 2020, that being Montana and Ohio, as well as Democratic senators in traditional swing states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, etc. So it'll definitely be a challenge for Democrats to hang on to the Senate in 2024. And fundraising matters so much because in 2022, Democrats fundraised beautifully, and where they put their money really mattered because they were smart with targeting Pennsylvania, and they were able to pick up Pennsylvania, and they did very well in 2022, and that was largely due to the fact that, especially in the Senate, they did very well, but that was largely due to the fact that they were able to raise a lot more money than the Republicans in 2022. So I think that the GOP has kind of learned its lesson with that. They're definitely trying to pick up their money game, which will be hard because Democrats just naturally always fundraise more and better, whatever. They have more big backers. But that being said, they are definitely going to try to narrow that gap as they do every election year. So looking at this new data from Ad Impact, who tracks spending and ad reservations and fundraising and all that for political candidates, you see that across 5 states, Ohio, Montana, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Wisconsin, the Senate Democrats have placed $108 million. That is what they have spent so far in future or present ad reservations. So looking at these ad reservations, where they are spending money by party. So in the Ohio Senate race, this is incumbent Democrat Sherrod Brown versus Republican Bernie Moreno. Ohio was a Trump state in 2020. We see that Democrats narrowly outpaced Republicans here, but both parties are spending the most in Ohio. So you can see how critical this Senate race is. Both the Democrats and Republicans are putting money into Ohio. Democrats have put $105 million in future ad reservations. I'll mind you, these totals are future ad reservations. This is how much that they have spent for ads in the future. $105 million. The Republicans, $93 million. So you can see that the Democrats narrowly outpace the Republicans here, but when it's this close, it really doesn't matter, right? Like really $12 million worth of ads, it doesn't make all that much of a difference, unless the race will be decided by like a couple hundred or thousand votes, which it never does. And then next up on the list, also the second most for both parties is Montana Senate, the other Trump state in 2016. You see that here, it's just about even. The Democrat John Tester, the incumbent, narrowly outpaces the Republican Tim Sheehy with $65 million. The Republicans are at $63 million. That's how much they have spent. In the Pennsylvania Senate race, we have incumbent Democrat Bob Casey against Republican Dave McCormick, the challenger. Bob Casey has spent $56 million on future ad reservations. Dave McCormick only at $34 million. So here you start to see a major gap, 56 to 34, considering that is, especially, lower than 104 to 92 for both parties. That difference definitely matters in a statewide race. And then in Nevada Senate, we have incumbent Jackie Rosen versus Republican Sam Brown, who was nominated yesterday, actually. And here you see a huge difference. Now, this makes sense. This data came out a couple days ago. You see that the Democrats spent $54 million on future ad reservations. The Republicans only $5 million. And that is because Sam Brown was nominated yesterday. This data came out a couple days ago, 2 days ago. So, obviously, they're not going to put a ton of money into a race where they don't know their nominee yet because, who are they going to promote? So, this will definitely increase, so we can disregard Nevada Senate. But still, it is surprising. I mean, it's really not surprising that Democrats are putting a lot of money into this race, but that is a lot of money when they definitely got to keep Montana and Ohio. And then we have Wisconsin, where it is a huge gap, but the thing is here, First of all, Tammy Baldwin, the incumbent Democrat, against Eric Hovde, the Republican. Tammy Baldwin has spent $27 million on future ad reservations. The Republicans only $9 million. And I actually don't think, I'm pretty sure that the Republicans have also not nominated anyone here yet either, so that would explain the lack of money there. So looking at these numbers, so here are my thoughts on this. So first of all, Ohio, yes, this is where I would expect everything to be, 104 to 92. And the Democrats currently have 51 seats, right? The Republicans have 49. So let's just fill in this map so that I could kind of express my thoughts in a better way. Yes, Republicans are going to win both seats in Nebraska. So these are all of the safe states. And you might notice that West Virginia is red. This seat is currently being held by Joe Manchin, but he is retiring in 2024, which is basically, it is an automatic flip to the Republicans. They're going to pick up that seat. So at the end of the day, Democrats are currently at 51 seats. West Virginia is guaranteed to flip. That's already 50-50. So then they would have to rely on winning the presidency. So the point is, Democrats cannot let a single seat go. It's not like they have 52 seats and then West Virginia flips. After West Virginia, I'm saying they can't let any more seats flip, because it's not like they have 52 seats, they have 51 after West Virginia flips, and then, they have one more to spare. They could let one go, like Montana, which voted for Trump by 16% in 2020, it's an astoundingly Republican state, and it's incredible that they have a Democratic senator, Jon Tester. So, I think that they should pour so much more of their money into Montana and Ohio, because their chances of winning the Senate are so slim in 2024, where honestly, I think that their strategy should just be, sparse out sparse out the money. Throw a little bit of money here, throw a little bit of money there, just spread it all around across the, states like Pennsylvania and Nevada and Wisconsin. Right, because those are going to be less competitive. They are probably going to fall in the Democratic column, these three states, as well as, of course, Minnesota, but as well as Arizona, Virginia, and Michigan. Those are also likely to fall into the Democratic column. So my thoughts are that they should just sparse out the money across these states that they currently hold, and that they're likely going to hold. I don't think that $56 million in Pennsylvania is necessary. I think it is in Nevada, because I think that Nevada will be close, possibly a little less. But $26 million probably not necessary in Wisconsin either, looking at the polling. They are ahead in all of these states. But anyway, I didn't even get my full thought out about how they should distribute this money. But anyway, put a little bit of money here and there in, the states that they currently hold, like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, Virginia, and New Mexico. And then pour the rest. Dump their money into Montana and Ohio, because if they don't, then it's over. If they are focusing too much on states that they are already favored in, where the polling looks very friendly to them, like Wisconsin, for example, we see, not the presidency, but the U.S. Senate, we see that in the latest polls, the Democrat is up by 8%, by 5%, by 12%. It doesn't deserve like $30 million or whatever it is in ad reservations. It doesn't take that much when you're favored this much. Looking at Pennsylvania now, Pennsylvania, of course, is close in presidential elections, in most elections. But you see that in this 2024 Senate race, Bob Casey up by 6, up by 7, up by 8 in the most recent polls. The Republican has never led a single poll in this race. The closest it got was 2%. And that New York Times poll favors Republicans so heavily. And then looking at Michigan quick, or even just going to Arizona, we didn't talk about this one much yet. The Democrat leads every single poll. This is a Republican primary poll. That's why you see Carrie Lake up by 25%. The Democrat leads every single poll conducted. So I don't think that they should be pouring tens of millions of dollars into Pennsylvania, especially Pennsylvania. $56 million, I think, is way too high. I don't see this race getting all that close. Again, I think that Nevada is necessary because I think that Nevada actually will be close because Jackie Rosen isn't that strong of a candidate. And then Wisconsin Senate, $26 million again. So I don't think that they should be pouring this much money in because they're already very heavily favored, right? You shouldn't be almost putting as much money into Pennsylvania, where you are so heavily favored, where you have an 80% chance or 75% chance plus of winning that state, versus Montana. Very similar in terms of the ad reservations, the money that they were putting into this race, 64 to 56. That's way too close. They should be taking that out of Pennsylvania, out of Nevada a little bit, out of Wisconsin, and putting it in Montana. Because, again, it's such a narrow majority with West Virginia flipping where, even if you lose one, you're done. So I think that they should take their chances. If they want to have any chance of keeping control of the Senate, they should take their chances in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada. Bet on winning those because they're already favored. And then put their money in Montana and Ohio where they might not be favored. Looking at Montana, the latest poll shows Tim Sheehy up by 3%. The Republicans are projected right now, according to this latest poll, to win by 3%. But looking at all the other polls, this will be a very, very, very close race. You see that the polls were favoring Tester a little bit, but then as Tim Sheehy gained name recognition, he took the lead. He's now ahead by 3%. And then looking at Ohio, we actually had a poll out recently. Yeah, it showed Sherrod Brown up by 5%. And then up by 8%. Now, I doubt that he wins by that much. I mean, that's the topic of a whole nother video, though. I definitely don't think that Sherrod Brown wins nearly as much as that. Whoops. There we go. But that's my thoughts. I think that they should take money out of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, the states that they currently hold. The more traditional swing states, plural, and put them into actual Republican states. Montana's solid Republican, but they have a Democratic senator. With enough funding, they could win. But in Montana, I forgot to mention this before. In Montana specifically, with a state that voted for Trump by 16%, I think that Tester is done. With this type of fundraising similarity. With the Republicans and Democrats basically pacing each other with the same amount of fundraising. Jon Tester would need a huge fundraising advantage to be able to win the state. Remember, Trump won it by 16%. This is a solid Republican state. If Jon Tester wanted to have a chance in this election, he would need a lot more than $65 million to Tim Sheehy's, to the Republicans, $63 million. They're barely outpacing the Republicans here, and he's probably done. He's probably cooked if he can't get this number up. Because, time and time again, fundraising wins elections, and when a state like Montana has such a hard partisan lean, overpowering partisan lean towards the Republicans, then it will be very hard for Jon Tester to win this race, because he can make it up with money, but he's not currently, and that is his problem. Same with Ohio. This should be a worrying sign for the Democrats. They should get their numbers up here, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and how they further spend their money. So thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you did, as well as dropping a like, dropping a comment. It's always good. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.